We met Emmanuel in a village called Asso. He had spent 10 years in a leper colony. Ultimately, the World Health Organization and the local authorities were able to get the medicines necessary to cure him. He was able to return to his village after 10 years. Shortly after he returned to his village, he started to develop a tumor on his foot. And the tumor progressed very rapidly. I knew that it was a very invasive tumor, that he needed to have, his leg amputated. We were able to send him to a local hospital that has Western trained physicians, and they performed an above-knee amputation. We found out that he had really given up before he met us. And we told him that we would take care of everything for him, all the expenses, the surgery, the amputation, the rehabilitation, travel, bringing one family member with him to care for him, his food, all his lodging, and also a prosthetic leg. What struck me most about Emmanuel was just the hopelessness in his eyes. He told us kind of the backstory, where he had been given up, where he had felt hopelessness. We've given him hope, and he's back on the mend now. We met Moni in one of our villages. It's actually a village that we don't have a clinic in, but we have a missionary there that helps the village. And he was clearly a special needs child. He was very malnourished, but he was obviously alive, and he was weak, but he had obviously been eating something. Moni's mother, father, caregivers didn't know how to care for him. So they would lay him down and feed him. And he would eat, but vomit the food up. Because there's no services available for people with special needs in Togo, basically had nothing. There was really nothing that anyone could offer him. We went back to the capital city from the village. We found a welder and an upholsterer who were willing to make a chair. They actually go to the village, which is fascinating, take measurements of the little boy, built the chair for him. Once we got him into the chair, and once we taught the parents how to feed him, he was able to eat well, he was able to keep the food down, and he really began to gain weight. So we were able to provide him with food regularly through our missionaries, send him some rice, we sent him protein powder, peanut butter, things like that he could easily digest and eat well. And he did very, very well. We met Simeone at a Clinics of Hope site in a village called Ephrata. Ephrata is really a center for many, many villages, and they can come there for education, for school, for water, anybody in the villages. Everyone is welcome to all of the facilities that we provide. A mother was carrying her child to us, and her concern was this 10, 11, 12-year-old boy was not walking and had never walked. And his feet were so deformed that when he stood, they just kind of rolled to the side, his legs scissored inward, and he collapsed. At that point, we put him in some casts, and we knew that he would need some surgery to correct his feet. When you bring a patient either out of their village to a hospital, to a rehab facility, to a place where they need physical therapy, a family member always goes with the patient, because hospitals don't provide food, they don't provide laundry, they don't provide bedding, they don't provide anything. So it's the family that provides that. So we bring a family member with our patients, brought him to the capital city, he had the surgery. He was placed in serial casts right up to his hip, and we fed him, we fed his mom, and took care of him for a number of months. After the surgery healed, he was fitted for some leg braces, and he began to walk and do physical therapy. All of a sudden, he went from a little boy that couldn't walk, that his mother had to carry everywhere, to a little boy that could walk. And the story continues. We were there on a Sunday, and we happened to be having a church service, and after service, he called me over and he said, "I want to walk, but I don't want to wear the braces anymore." And here's this little boy, 10 years old, his name's Togo, born with severe deformities. His legs are horribly contracted, he cannot walk, he's crawling along the sand. And yet when we played the music, he was dancing. And the video showed him just dancing and throwing his arms in the air and playing with the other children. And it was just powerful to see this little boy with such difficult deformities, with so many disabilities, and yet loving life. Our orphan program considers children of single moms or children of single dads as orphans also. So we took him into our program, and we used a little bit of the money to rebuild his house. His 3 siblings live there, his mother lives there, they're in a safe environment now. They're receiving the monthly support from the orphan program, which provides for schooling and food for all of the family members. There's no programs for special needs child, especially in the villages in Togo. Todogan desperately wanted to go to school. And the headmaster said as long as he can travel to and from school, as long as he can pay the school fees, and as long as he keeps up academically, he would be allowed into the school. So we were able to get him a custom tricycle where the children with, or adults even, whose legs are not functional, can pedal the tricycle with their upper body, with their arms. And he was able to go back and forth to school, 4 or 5 miles a day. And it wasn't hard to change that little boy's life. It wasn't expensive, it wasn't a great effort on anyone's part. His whole world changes. His family's world changes. The village changes. And how much more could we accomplish if we were there more, if we had more people on the ground, if we had more teams there? You know, there's a lot more children like this that need us. My name is Dr. Tom Mancini. I'm the missions director at New Hope Christian Church in Swansea, Massachusetts. We started working in Togo, West Africa in 1998. And I was struck when I went there with the needs, you know, overwhelming needs, simple things, the needs of water, the needs of children without parents. There's needs all around us. We realized that the solution to those needs was often not expensive. Everyone's welcome to use our clinics. Everyone's welcome to use our wells. We accept orphans from anyone that we can, if we can get them supported. So we realized, you know, our church is very generous. We've have a number of other churches that help us, that support us. We've had people from all walks of life and denominations and professions join us on the trip to do what they can to help. But we really need more help. The opportunities are there to make an impact on people's lives. So that's the purpose of this video, is to reach out beyond what we can do, because there's so much more that needs to be done. And I feel, and I know in my heart, that the stories are compelling, and that if you hear them, if you realize what's out there and the needs that are out there, you'll want to be part of it. It's amazing to see the impact you can have on people's lives. It's truly a group effort. We cannot do this alone. With your support, with your financial help, we can give people like this more hope. Everyone needs hope. Everyone needs to feel loved, and you can help us to do that. So thank you for supporting us, and we wish you great blessings.